Skip to content. Deputy Atty. Gen. Rod Rosenstein addresses a conference on the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act in New York on May 9. Justin Lane, EPA, Shutterstock. On Monday it will be learned whether the Justice Department has found a way to defuse President Trump's outrageous demand for an investigation into his latest conspiracy theory about the Russia investigation. On Sunday, the president made good on his threats to get involved in the department's investigations when he tweeted, "I hereby demand, and will do so officially tomorrow, that the Department of Justice look into whether or not the FBI, DOJ infiltrated or surveilled the Trump campaign for political purposes, and if any such demands or requests were made by people within the Obama administration." Donald J. Trump, at Real Donald Trump, May 20, 2018. Trump rule of law. The swamp. Trump reportedly leaned on the Postmaster General to double shipping rates for Amazon, owned by Jeff Bezos, right? Alex Brandon, Associated Press. The Washington Post, in a nice twist of irony, reports that President Trump has been strong-arming the Postmaster General to double the rate it charges Amazon, along with a handful of other companies, for all those deliveries. The reason? Amazon is the fiefdom of mega-billionaire Jeff Bezos, who has drawn the ire of our thin-skinned president by owning the Washington Post, which has been covering Trump with admirable depth and breadth. So the President of the United States is apparently trying to use his office to punish someone he perceives as a political enemy. President Donald Trump walks into the East Room of the White House Friday for a prison reform summit. AP photo, Susan Walsh, in today's installment of President Trump's unceasing attack on Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller's investigation, the president is floating a new theory, that the FBI sneaked a mole into his 2016 campaign. Friday morning, Trump tweeted, "Reports are there was indeed at least one FBI representative implanted, for political purposes, into my campaign for president. It took place very early on, and long before the phony Russia hoax became a hot fake news story. If true, all-time biggest political scandal." Donald J. Trump, at Real Donald Trump, May 18, 2018. Even with the uncharacteristic qualification, "if true," this is a sensational allegation. But it's also part of a pattern. Lawyer Aaron Schlossberg, Center, takes a cell phone video of reporters taking his video as he leaves his home in Manhattan on Thursday. Anthony Del Mundo, New York Daily News, TNS, at the risk of sounding like I'm defending the indefensible, there's something unnerving about the backlash against Aaron Schlossberg. Here's the incident that catapulted Schlossberg into the public eye. There's something clearly wrong with this guy. And now, thanks to YouTube and my fellow carrion birds in the media, the story of the guy who threatened to call immigration agents on food service workers who spoke Spanish is all over the internet. Law enforcement officers respond to a high school near Houston after a shooting on campus Friday in Santa Fe, Texas. KTRK-TV ABC 13 via Associated Press. The school day was just getting started in Santa Fe, Texas, when the gunshots began. Little is known at this point about what happened next. At least 8 are dead, maybe as many as 10, with others wounded and being treated at hospitals, including students and adults. One suspect, a student, is reportedly in custody, another detained. There was early talk of a shotgun and, later, suspected explosive devices found at the school and a home, but as we all know from experience, these details are fluid and will change. That's the disconnect between the desire to know, and the pace of an investigation. We all know from experience, that's the crucial phrase. So we watch the live coverage on TV, scan the web for updates, cling to dramatic details and fight the nausea. We share shock on social media, post those little sad faces with a tear in the eye, and if a child is near, give a hug of reassurance. But there really is nothing to be reassured about. Harvest machines roll through a sugarcane field in Clewiston, Florida, in 2004. Joe Redl, Getty Images. If House Republicans really were believers in the free market, they'd kill the U.S. sugar program. Democrats are the ones who aren't so faithful to bedrock capitalist principles, so they can be excused for supporting a program in which the government essentially controls how much farmers produce and, in effect, taxes consumers for the benefit of a politically connected special interest. Well, maybe they can't be excused for that, but at least their position would be understandable. Yet the House is now considering an $867 billion farm bill that, among other lamentable provisions, would continue a sugar program that has both of those features. Polarization has made it exceedingly difficult for Congress to do its job. And that's a failure for the nation. Michael Reynolds, EPA, Shutterstock. A small group of House Republicans representing districts with a more liberal view of immigration policies than that of the House leadership and the President are trying to force a vote on 4 competing bills to resolve the plight of people who have been living in the U.S. illegally after arriving as children. Each of the bills addresses the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program in some capacity, some less onerously than others. Under the so-called Queen of the Hill rule, all would come to the floor and the top vote-getter would win. But to get the measures to the floor, proponents need support from 219 House members, all 193 Democrats and at least 26 Republicans, or more if some of the Democrats balk. Robert S. Mueller III is accused by President Trump of conducting the greatest witch hunt in American history. Saul Loeb, AFP. Getty Images. President Trump sent special counsel Robert S. Mueller III an unhappy anniversary card this morning on Twitter. Of course. Congratulations America, we are now into the second year of the greatest witch hunt in American history. And there is still no collusion and no obstruction. The only collusion was that done by Democrats who were unable to win an election despite the spending of far more money. Donald J. Trump, at Real Donald Trump, May 17, 2018. The argument that Mueller's investigation is the greatest witch hunt in history seems unfair to the Puritans in Massachusetts who actually killed people during the Salem witch hunt. As Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis famously observed in a First Amendment case, men feared witches and burnt women. Actually, the Salem witches were hanged. Trump immigration. The Golden State. President Trump meets at the White House with California leaders and public officials who oppose the state's sanctuary policies. Olivier Dollery, EPA. Shutterstock. So who exactly was President Trump referring to Wednesday when he referred to some immigrants as animals? Let's go to the transcript. Trump gathered California lawmakers and law enforcement officials to discuss the so-called sanctuary laws that bar state and local authorities here from enforcing federal immigration codes, which involve for the most part civil, not criminal, infractions. This is what California's laws actually do. Fresno County Sheriff Margaret Mims railed against the laws, then complained, there could be an MS-13 member I know about. If they don't reach a certain threshold, I cannot tell ICE about it. Never mind that MS-13 began in Los Angeles, and that not all of its members are immigrants. Trump responded.